I've been asked so many times, what is the 180 degree rule when it comes to videoing, and how does it relate to ND filters? Well, if you hang about, I'll try and explain it simply. The term 180 degree comes from the old cameras, the reel-to-reel cameras, where you had a 180 degree shutter which span all the time, a rotary shutter. So that's where the name comes from, and that, I think, is what is confusing people. As soon as you mention numbers, they think, well, where does that 180 come from? What do I do with that 180? So I'm going to make it simpler. Let's change the name. 180 degree rule is just too complicated. The easiest way to explain it is call it the double up rule, the 2 times rule. I prefer double up rule. So for example, if you're shooting in 4K 30 frames per second, double that 30 to 60, and that's what you want your shutter speed to be. So 1/60th of a second. If you're shooting in 4K 50, double 50 is 100, so you want your shutter speed to be 1/100th of a second. It's as easy as that. But what we've got to do now, after you've set your frame rate and your shutter speed, you need to work out what ND filter you're going to use. So we're going to go outside and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, and hopefully it will make it easier for you. Okay, I'm set at 4K 30 frames per second, so double that is 60. I need to set the shutter speed to 1/60th. Now you will see that the image is totally blown out. So I'll hold an ND filter in front of the lens. I'm going to try an ND64 first, and I think I've got that right first time. Now I'll change the setting to 4K 60 frames per second. Double that is 120. So I need to set the shutter speed to 1/120th of a second. That actually looks okay with the same filter. I'm going to take the white balance off auto and set it to 5700. I'll just change the frame rate back to 4K 30 and reset the shutter speed to 1/160th of a second. Remember, double the frame rate. I also make sure that the ISO isn't set to auto. Now I switch the whole settings back to auto. These drones will now remember your manual settings and keep to them as close as possible in auto. If I kept the setting in Pro mode, then the exposure would change as I flew around. Auto will make those little adjustments that will keep my footage constant. Right, well, I hope it's all simpler now and you can go out and forget completely about 180. Just double up your frame rate and that's your shutter speed. Thanks for watching. Bye.